J is for Justice podcast.
Jay, I like your podcasts.
Roberta.
Welcome back to J is for Justice. Hopefully you guys can hear. And I'm not J muted. Welcome, Alligator and Heather.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hey, ladies. We're missing Potato, so hopefully she will pop on when she can. I want to welcome you guys. I can't see, I guess it's all members tonight. So I'm like, I can't tell on Restream. But welcome, all the Roberters and the new Roberters. Welcome, welcome. We are going to be talking tonight about something that I've been wanting to share with you guys for quite some time. So I'm excited for that. Hello, Cousin Tracy. Hello, Carol. Shell, thanks for being here. Angie B. Muffin Top. Jen Isley. Heather Bratt. Happy birthday. We have a birthday in the house, ladies. Hey, Mike. It is Bella Blonde's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, lady.
Happy birthday.
Hope you got everything that your heart desired today. Oh, did you see this comment? Ava.
Yep.
We've got Ava on Facebook with a funny comment. she does a little bit right there. Does a little bit right there.
Yeah, she does.
To agree.
Oh
I will
God,
have to agree with that. Ava. You're welcome, Bella Blonde. Congrats, Mama She, on your 12-month Roberta membership. Hey, Laura W. And Maureen. You guys are amazing. Aussie True Crime. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are back in the Watts saddle. How do you guys feel about that, ladies? How are we feeling?
Apprehensive.
It's been a minute.
Nervous, but exciting. I'm excited.
It's been a minute. So I have some stuff that I'm going to go over with you guys that Tammy Lee has been doing since the conclusion. What's up, Rosa? Of the Chris Watts case. But before I do that, I want to do a little refresher. Hey, Lori Staggs. I want to do a little refresher of Tammy Lee and who she is, just in case maybe someone doesn't know. And I don't know, anybody who followed this case definitely is aware of who she is. But nonetheless, we're going to do a refresher on some things here. And the first one is, are you guys ready to begin?
Yeah.
I'm ready to jump right in. I've been waiting to tell you guys this stuff. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is Tammy Lee's why. CBI why, meaning why did you join the CBI?
My name is Tammy Lee, and I currently work in the Denver Major Crimes Unit. My why CBI basically goes back to CBI always being a dream for me to work at. I worked for a very small agency in northern Colorado, and we use CBI all the time to help us with investigations, to even just answering a question about a piece of evidence. I always used the CBI. I felt like they were kind of my savior, I guess, when I didn't have the resources or the expertise to handle something. So I guess looking back, I always wanted to give back to that. And now I really appreciate the fact that I can be the calm for other people's storms. I like that they can call us and me specifically and say, I need help with this, and I love that we can show up and give them that assistance. So I just feel like it's a perfect fit for me, and it allows me to give back to all the people that helped me along the way, and it's just a dream come true, honestly.
Did it get louder for you guys?
No.
It was really super low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was turned up all the way. I don't know why, but anyways, her why, was that she worked for a little agency in in northern Colorado, and she always looked up to the CBI and looked at them as like her savior. So that was done in, somebody asked the year. This was well before Watts' case. That's what I thought.
Totally different.
Oh, now on the thumbnail. Did you guys even know that was Tammy Lee
No.
on the thumbnail?
No.
I mean, Like, what did she do?
And her, I want to help everyone.
I don't know what she's doing. But all right, let's go to the next clip that I have, and hopefully we can get this to work. Pull it up this way. And this is going to be a replay of clips of the Oxygen show that Tammy Lee was on. Do you guys remember them being on Oxygen a while back? Well, here's just some clips of that, okay? And we're gonna talk through these, and then we'll get on to the meat and potatoes of the current day. But I want to get through some recapping first. So here we go. Let's make this bigger. And they start out at the point where Ronnie Watts comes in, and Chris has explained to Ronnie that he choked Shanann because she hurt the kids, right? That was the original confession.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a look. He asked that. How old is this picture? And she's like, today. It was the drone footage from that day.
They already knew. They were already out there.
Yeah.
I'm just curious why the first thing he asked was, how old is this picture?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was an odd, unless he was just like trying to, stall a little bit. I don't know. Verge of like crying right there.
Yes.
It's like it.
Okay,
And
you guys talk about this for a second. I'm going to go grab my laptop so I can get the other files. But please, let's discuss. Go ahead, Mal.
I just feel like I've seen a lot of investigations with really, really bad things. And I just think that she took this way too personal for herself.
Oh, absolutely. She was posting on Facebook about it. And
I mean, praise how she's a strong Italian woman and she could relate so well to Shanann.
yeah.
I think she just did not act professional. I think she acted with rage, impulse, and sadness.
She reacted with emotion instead of, facts and
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. And I think that she also said that she related with the victim in the case.
Yep. Straight up.
I'm not sure that's something she should be saying.
No.
I mean,
that could, like, if this had gone to trial, that could have been grounds for anything, mistrial or I don't know.
Uh-oh, you muted, Heather.
I accidentally muted myself.
I was like, wait.
Oh.
No message.
And then that
Hang on,
turned
I'm
on
just
and
sending
started
these.
talking. Mal, come get your Amazon.
So what else? Let me see what Chad is saying.
I just think it's odd how, like, when I read about her, like, her just saying, like, that she's, from an Italian family and, like, that she pictured herself as Shanann and that she just took it so hard. And that after seeing them like that, she said she cried more than he cried. Well, I mean, everybody's different, but I just think she took it way, way, way too personal. And then what professional goes to Facebook?
Yeah. In an active investigation.
Yeah. Very
In the
unprofessional.
With the whole picture thing, he may have asked when the picture was taken because he saw the vehicles out there. So maybe he was trying to figure out, like, oh, crap, they already know they're out there right now. I might as well just tell them the truth.
Well, before that, they did say that they did not need something like they had already, they didn't need to ask him about Nikki on the polygraph because they told him they already knew about her. So that was one way they told him, like, we already talked to Nikki. And then right before, like, he confessed to Ronnie, they were like, we have all the texts between you and Nikki. We're going to listen to all that raw footage. I'm just showing what Oxygen showed.
Right. They
Yeah.
always cut out they only put in what they want to put in.
Yeah, sure. Right. That's what I'm saying. And I think that it's important to watch. We're going to use this one area, just the confession part. I'm not going to go over. I'd love to go over the whole interrogation. I mean, I started listening to it just to clip it. And I'm like, okay, I need to listen to this all over again.
Got sucked right back in.
Got sucked right back in. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's keep going. Shot it, Nate.
Right.
All right. Now, you guys are telling me that you guys had no audio on that video I played. So I'm going to try it this way. Me and my trying things. We'll see how it works out. Bella Blonde says, Ellie was pretty quick about Survey 319. Wonder who really outed CW. And we're going to get to this in another live because apparently the Lexus left the house on Tuesday, the 14th. And it was followed by law enforcement. And it turned around and went back to Saratoga Trail. So I'm not sure. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what was in the Lexus on that Tuesday when it took the swing around and went back to the house. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that or not.
Can we go back to that night?
And there's not supposed to be any video at this point. It is just a black screen because this is just audio. And the reason I did that is for one of two reasons. I noticed that when you listen to it, you hear more than when you're watching it, you hear it. So I kind of like tweaked the audio, made it a little more clear. So we're going to walk through this and I want you guys to tell me what you're thinking when we get to these points.
Can we go back to that night? Yeah. You know that we have texts. And we know that there's an Alexa in your house. Mm-hmm. And you know that those are trained to record distress. Okay. You know that we know the content of Nikki's text messages and your text messages and Shanann's text messages. Okay? I didn't know you knew where Nikki was until right now, so. Okay. Tell us about that night again, and please tell the truth this time. I told you the truth. I promise I've told you the truth. Like, I woke up at 4 o'clock. I woke up at 4 o'clock. Got dressed, got ready. 4:15, me and Shanann talked. About the house, about separation. Did you guys talk about Nikki? She accused me of like, all right, look, you know.
Okay, so you notice that Coder says, we have all the text between you and Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why is that supposed to scare Chris?
I don't know. And like saying that they have the recording from the Amazon thing.
Yeah, from the Alexa.
I didn't want to say her name.
Oh, sorry. I just had to scream it.
I know, you're going to trigger everyone's now.
But you know what I thought was weird was when he said, I didn't even know where Nikki was till right now.
I missed that.
Yeah, go back. Because I closed my eyes and just listened. Because you're right. When you watch it in video, you're watching body language. You're watching people each other. But I heard him say, I have the messages. And then he goes, I didn't even know where Nikki was till now. Rewind.
Weird. Okay.
I never caught that before. Till you just told me to
See,
really listen. I closed my eyes.
To things, man, and you're not watching because we're always watching and trying to figure out what they're saying. And like you said, the body language. Okay, so let's go back a little bit.
Got dressed, got ready.
Was it before that? It was when he said they have the texts?
Yeah.
You know that we know the content of Nikki's text messages and your text messages and Shanann's text messages. Okay? I didn't know you knew where Nikki was until right now, so.
See?
weird.
I didn't understand what he said. Good pickup.
I didn't even know where Nikki was till right now.
And Shanann's text messages. Okay. I didn't know you knew where Nikki was until right now, so. Okay. Tell us about that night again, and please tell the truth and stop.
I wonder what that means.
Or did he say, I didn't know you knew who Nikki was until right now?
Oh, I think that might be what he said.
I don't know. I said I don't know.
I didn't think you knew who Nikki was until now. Let's see. Let's listen again.
Yeah.
And Shanann's text messages. Okay. I didn't know you knew where Nikki was until right now, so. Okay.
It
You
sounds
knew
like-
who.
Tell us about that night again, and please tell the truth and stop. I told you the truth. I promise I've told you the truth. Like, I woke up at 4 o'clock. I woke up at 4 o'clock. Got dressed, got ready. 4:15, me and Shanann talk. About the house, about separation. Did you guys talk about Nikki? She accused me of like, all right, well, you know, is there somebody else? Sure. I didn't say it. You denied it? Yeah. Okay. Because she brought up like, you know, like, well, was there a $68 charge on dinner the other night? Okay. Was there 2 of you? And that was with 2 of you, wasn't it? Yes. Okay. That's Nikki. Okay, so it sounds like at that time there was maybe you weren't quite ready to just say, this is everything. I couldn't say it. Okay.
Say something. Sorry, I hate to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so he's saying he says I didn't think you knew who she was, but he said we got messages of hers and Shanann's and your Alexa, and so he's asking him, did you guys talk about her? And he said, well, she just brought up like we were having an affair. But if he knew that there's incriminating texts on Nikki's phone and Shanann's phone, why would he still be playing like we didn't talk about her? I didn't say I was having an affair with Nikki. She just said she thought she knew, but he said he didn't bring that up to her. Like he didn't say that he was having an affair with her. But if they're saying we have messages from both of them, wouldn't that have put fear in him and him said, oh yes, you're right. We were, and I did tell Shanann that I was having an affair with her. If you have it on devices, then you know that. Why would he still not say that?
Because I don't think it was ever said in a device that we know of.
I believe so too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he knows it was.
But he didn't know that.
He didn't know what was all in Shanann's phone. No.
Right.
But he's talking about the separation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this was already talked about. This was, and that's what people don't understand is that when they were in North Carolina, they were already talked about separating. It wasn't something that happened when they got back.
It wasn't just out of the blue.
No, and I believe that was a trial separation is what I think that was. 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yep.
Not sure what that means. Baby video game controller sits in a diaper under the word noob.
It's the sticker. It's describing what the sticker is.
It's describing the sticker. I'm like, what? Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Sarah. Oh my gosh. I didn't know it would spell out the sticker. I'm sorry.
But do you know what I'm saying though? Like he would have been
I do.
like, oh, if you have it all, then yeah, I better just say, yeah, I did bring up Nikki. But he still says I didn't bring up Nikki. She did, but he still said he didn't.
Right. He's still saying he never told her. He couldn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Olive juice. I know, I'm a reverter.
I'm already trying hard enough. I couldn't say that. Okay.
I couldn't say that.
I just told her like, this separation has to go. I want separation. Okay.
All right, next clip. Hold on tight.
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish. So tell me what happened then. I believe you that you did nothing What happened?
When I left, I mean, it's on video that I left and I was in my truck. I didn't like load anything into my truck besides my tools.
Okay, so what I wanted to point out here was that how Graham Coder says, I know you have nothing on your hands.
Yep, I was waiting for you to pause.
Why did he say it like that?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he
knows
thought-
he didn't do it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and if you recall, the defense team in the very beginning asked for DNA swabs of the girls' necks, and it was denied. The judge said, I am not going to tell the medical examiner how to do their job.
Yep.
Your request is denied. So they wanted DNA in the very beginning from the girls' necks. And then you hear Coder say, I know you've got nothing on your hands. What?
Yeah.
And they never even let the defense go through the house like in normal cases.
Well, the defense, I think very early on brought this plea deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they investigated much,
No.
if at all.
Yeah. Well,
They never interviewed the Watts
They showed
family.
that one lady, though, did go to the house and she was sitting on the couch that was for the defense. And she said,
They said they were getting forensic evidence, but
Yep.
there was no forensic evidence.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing.
Yep.
There was nothing. But they never interviewed Chris's family. I find that to be very, very odd.
They interview everybody else under the sun.
Everybody, every suspect's family, right?
Mm-hmm.
They never interviewed his family and asked what the relationship was like from their perspective.
This
I
was
mean,
very
they just spent time together. Thank you, Sarah. Video game controller jumps up and down excitedly.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, what would be the harm in getting DNA swabs of the girls' necks?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't fit their narrative.
Mm-hmm. Well, they knew they had very little, if any, evidence at all. They
Mhm.
relied completely on his confession.
I mean, I don't know
Yes.
how much they would have gotten either with the slippage and stuff of them being in the oil, or like, what, it wouldn't have been contaminated.
But to just straight up deny it,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least let them try, right? And then say, we were unable to get those samples. But to shut them down like that was really one of the only requests of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
The defense didn't do shit for Chris.
Nope.
Nothing. I mean, they didn't even tell him the honest to God truth that the death penalty was not a thing. Oh, we're trying to save your life. No. The death penalty was completely abolished a few months later. So that was never even going to be on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there, them throwing him a plea deal saying that, we're saving your life when that's a blatant lie shows me right there, this man never had anyone pulling a decent defense for him. I mean, we knew that, but it's maddening to listen to.
I just wish we could see what all they really have. Like Nate's cams. I mean, if NK's been there, why was that never shown?
Because from what I hear, there's a spot in the driveway where no cameras pick up anyone. And we'll get to that in an upcoming episode because there's a lot to talk about with that. But let's get back to this audio.
So tell me what happened then. I believe you that you did nothing on your hands. What happened?
When I left, I mean, it's on video that I left and I was in my truck. I didn't load anything into my truck besides my tools, my container, my book bag, my water jug, my lunchbox.
Okay.
And that's the only time Chris's voice really gets raised and he's adamant. Any other time he's talking real low, he's looking down. But when he's talking about, I only loaded this, and this in my truck, he's thinking, because I think that he put Shanann in the bed of the truck. So he doesn't think that anybody could see it because he put the ass end of his truck just so in the garage so that the back wheels were just there and you couldn't see. So he's adamant because he's thinking there's no way they saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way that he took Shanann and brought her around that side of the truck and loaded her without any like struggle or anything like that, because she would have been in rigor. She would have been difficult to maneuver in the truck to lay across the floorboards. Plus he had bins
And car
and
seats.
things, bins. And I don't think there was car seats back there.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were in the car.
But he had bins. He had like Rubbermaid bins, like stacked up with work stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't have been like a, hey, I'm lifting this, body and I'm just sliding it in effortlessly. We would have seen something. And I think he backed it up and had the he slid her in the bed is what happened.
What happened?
We're going to get to video soon.
No, before you drove out of the driveway. What happened with your wife and your kids?
I didn't do anything with them. They were still in the house.
Where are they? Where did they go?
I don't know, sir. I really don't know.
Your wife's not the type of person to vanish.
I know she's not.
She had 10 things on her schedule that meant she was going to be there the next day, that day, the day after that, with friends, with a doctor. Okay? She didn't leave because she wanted to.
Right.
So what happened?
I didn't do anything to her or the kids.
Was it an accident?
I didn't do anything.
Was it an accident?
So she still doesn't know. Was it an accident? Next clip.
Do you have to have any of them with you?
No.
Okay, this is regarding the Anadarko employees. Okay, now they've gotten the confession, and now he's asking about coworkers going out there to retrieve their bodies.
Yeah, he sounds upset.
Thank you, Sarah. She says, "Oh boy, these damn stupid stickers." I love you, Jay. Is that better? Yes, Sarah. Thank you.
Okay. So what happened?
I didn't do anything to her or the kids.
Was it an accident?
I didn't do anything.
Was it an accident?
He says there was no accident.
Do you have to have any of them with you?
No.
No. We prefer you.
Can you and me and Tammy and Ronnie get in the car and just drive out there?
Just general direction.
You just point it?
Take it from there.
Chris, I know they're gone, but they're still your babies.
I did not catch that before, that they wanted Ronnie and him to hop in the car right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Why didn't they, I wonder?
Chris said no, didn't he?
He didn't want to go out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Laura W. says, my last name is Waddles. I used to have Laura Watt as my screen name. This case, made me change it. Oh, Lord.
And you're still their dad.
You don't want to go out there.
I don't want them out there.
Ooh.
And you don't want someone else to find that out there. You don't, I promise you. Take us.
That damn clock.
You give us a second so we can kind of get some things arranged to do that.
Ronnie, do you mind staying in here with him? Okay.
What the fuck is this?
Now, this is him and Ronnie alone.
This is just fucking horrible.
problem is I don't even know if they believe me or not.
It is. Another thing. So you never do nothing to hurt your children. Never. Text my daughter, have her go to my house before my wife found out. This ain't gonna be on the news anytime soon, or is it?
No, not tonight. I can't imagine.
Yeah, you hear that shit? Right here.
Mm.
Here's lie number 1 or whatever, 100.
Yeah.
Ronnie wants a chance to talk to his daughter who has children and a spouse and his wife. And he says, this isn't going to be on the news anytime soon, is it? And she says, oh, no. But you know what happened?
News.
After this, a source from law enforcement told Denver 9 that Chris Watts confessed to killing his entire family. Is that what just happened here?
Nope.
Fuck no, that's not what happened. So what source and why went to the Denver 9 News and said, hey, he just confessed to everything?
Because they were invested too emotionally into this case and wanted to cream him in the news right off the bat.
Can you
Yep.
imagine that being your son or your brother? And you're like, what? I mean, Dad was sitting right there. He heard what the confession was. So he's going to tell his wife and daughter what he just heard, the confession, and then they're going to hear the news and it's going to be, no, he killed them all. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you think Ronnie Watts was thinking when he saw the news? And he was like, wait a minute. That's not what Chris said. He had to have thought that.
I will never understand why Ronnie didn't say enough. He wants a lawyer. I wish they
Shock.
would have said.
Complete and utter shock.
Yeah.
He had no idea why he was even there. He thought they were missing, right? So let's just talk a little bit about that. So he thought they were missing and that, you know, there was this separation that was happening that was in the works. And maybe they had a disagreement or something and she took off, wanted him to worry or, you know, like a fight. And she took off. That's literally what they thought, was that they're somewhere. You know what I mean? They had a fight. She's just taken off with the girls. She'll be back, but she wasn't back. So he flies out there. And then he sits down and this is the news he gets. And he's thinking, I've got to call my daughter and my wife. And I've got to tell them that their nieces and their granddaughters are dead. I can't even imagine. I mean, this guy literally walked into this situation, had no idea what was going on.
I think
Blindsided.
it was all Tammy that leaked it. I think it was all her. The way she took it emotionally, I think it was all her.
I have to agree.
Well, I think so too. And I think that saying he confessed to all three is, I mean, how do they, I just don't understand when we could clearly watch in the discovery what the confession entailed. And then is it a surprise that they went back and visited him again out in Wisconsin and got this quote unquote second interview that they told him it's not for anybody but Shanann's family.
Yep.
And then afterwards called him. Tammy Lee called him at the prison. He gets called down to this phone call and she says, just want to let you know, everyone's going to hear that.
Yep. Like,
and he
how
said,
was she not reprimanded
and he
for
said,
all of these lies?
okay, thank you, and hung up. I mean, what are you going to do at that point?
And I think they only went back to Wisconsin because I think there was so many loopholes and people were starting to pick them out. And I think if they didn't go in and seal that
Yep.
and say that,
I 100% agree with you.
he would have gotten a
They
new
had
trial.
to have that confession that they were claiming on the record.
Yep.
Because that wasn't what was on the record. What was on the record did not fucking match what he's saying happened. So they had to go seal that up. You're right. They definitely had to.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's still more that can happen with this. I don't know. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's keep going. I got some good shit.
I don't really have much say in that, but I can't see that. Do you want me to take you out to the lobby and you can go to the bathroom and then text your wife and stuff, talk to them?
Oh yeah, could you go text your wife and tell them that, her grandchildren are deceased?
Because I'm about to blast it on the news.
Unreal. I have never seen someone so cold in my entire life.
Yeah.
But then she puts on these tears on the oxygen show. It's like, where is your empathy as a professional when you're dealing with this dead children? Those dead children meant something to everyone.
Yeah.
Just watch the press people around.
Yeah, I'll see people out there while you're over
You want your water? You want to take your water with you?
Yeah.
We're going to try to do our best to make sure that we don't stand to gain anything by broadcasting any of this. That's not what law enforcement is ever really about. So we're going to try our best to handle that as discreetly as possible. But
You hear that shit?
Yep.
We're going to handle this as discreetly as possible. That's not what law enforcement's all about. Bullshit.
That's
They
what
went
Tammy's
right
all about.
to Denver 9.
But they sure kept NK very secretive.
These two are thick as thieves. I don't believe it's just her. They're thick as thieves, and you'll see why in a little bit.
But they're pretty good at what they do too.
So I'm not from around here neither, are you?
I've only been here 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going to find a lawyer or something for not a public defender, but somebody else.
Did you hear him? I want to find a lawyer, not a public defender, but someone else. Have you ever heard that before? Mr.
No.
Watts telling Coder, I want to find a lawyer, not a public defender, but someone else. What happened to that? Let's listen.
I've only been here 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going to find a lawyer or something for not a public defender, but somebody else.
We can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Get your phone. You got it? Okay. Let's go.
They aren't interested in entertaining that conversation,
Right
are they?
there, they should have stopped talking to him when he said, I want to get a lawyer.
Yep.
They should have stopped talking to him. As soon as the word lawyer is brought up, they're to be walking out the room.
Well, she kind of did, because she's like, oh, got your phone? They already got what they wanted.
Well, and Coder's like, we'll talk about that later. No, we're going to deal with this now.
Yeah, because Mr. Watts, oh shit, he talked about a lawyer at the end.
Yep. And that's why they went to the news.
Then the leak. Yep, because once it's leaked, once people see that, they won't unsee it. They won't unsee it. Just like when they put Tim McVeigh on the cover of Time magazine and put the face of terror before he was even on trial, right? It's not fair to do that.
Scott Peterson.
Right.
I mean, it was all media.
Right. I mean, Scott Peterson's alibi was leaked before the trial.
Yep.
But Lori, they didn't get the confession. Lori, they didn't, though. They only got that he confessed to killing Shanann. But they lied in the news. They lied in the news and said he confessed to all.
Yep.
So if you're for it, we'll talk a little bit more. I think we have a picture of, is it Survey 319? I think we have a picture. Kind of walk you through that. I'm sure you have a ton of questions for us. about, you know, how your night, month, and weekend's gonna look. So Tammy, I was just telling him.
Okay, so now we're gonna get to the next part, and this is.
I wanted to show him that picture.
Okay, so that was before he showed the location.
Yep.
That Ronnie said, I want to get a lawyer.
Yep. Before he, yeah.
Yep.
That was before he drew the diagram of where they are.
Yep.
Holy. We can talk about that later. Yeah, let's seal this up and then we'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm. They should have never went up any further.
Nope. That should have ended right then and there. All right, so now she's coming in with this picture. Now let's watch.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about how the rest of the night's going to go.
That looks familiar to you? What is that?
It's the PRC Survey 319.
Okay. Whereabouts is Shanann and the girls?
How old is this picture?
Today.
How's today?
Hear that? How old is this picture? Mm-hmm. Oh, this is today.
Mm-hmm. I just wish we wouldn't have said another word.
Okay, can you mark it for me? Thanks. I think it's the paper. Just can we, the S for Shanann. Okay, and where are the girls at?
Okay, watch her fingers. Now, why is she pointing for him?
Yeah, they said they already were out there, so she knew that where the kids were. She just wanted him to clarify.
I don't think they ever imagined those kids were in oil tanks.
Well, they said they were already out there, and I can't remember.
Well, they did. They found the sheet and they found the Shanann, but I don't think they knew for sure. I don't think they imagined in a million years that he would have put them in those tanks. And another episode we're going to do too is we're going to talk about those tanks and we're going to talk about those hatches. And I'm going to share with you some things that Ronnie Watts and I talked about with the hatches. And I'm going to show you. I mean, it's crazy because an 8-inch hatch is as big as a paper plate. How? We'll get to that. Today's about Tammy Lee.
The S for Shanann. Okay, and where are the girls at?
Here.
In these?
Watch your hands.
Which one is, do you know which one?
Are they in the tanks? Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, it's easy to open them.
What's in the tanks?
Both things.
It's a mixture of oil and water.
What?
She pointed to both tanks. She pointed to one, and then
I know. Did you see her go back and forth? Like,
yeah,
here, mark these.
They're in the tanks. The cop did.
He said, "Are they in the tanks?" And
yeah,
and then he goes, "Can someone?" Right. And then he goes, "Can someone who doesn't know what they're doing open those?"
Mm-hmm.
Why would he ask that? Who wouldn't know what they're doing? But I mean, Chris knows what he's doing. Oh, weird.
Are they in the tanks? Can somebody who doesn't know what they're doing open those? Okay, it's easy to open them.
What's in the tanks?
It's a mixture of oil and water.
There was a sheet found down here?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that from?
That was what Chanel was wrapped in.
What about the girlies? What were they wrapped in? Just in their pajamas? Not with their blankets or anything? Where did their blankets and toys and stuff go?
Probably flew away in the wind or something right here.
Where did you set them or put them?
It was right here with that.
So how did you dig this out? I'm assuming that's under dirt. How did you dig that?
It's got a shovel in my truck. It's still with it.
It's like a work shovel. Is it still there? How was Shanann touched?
Shirt and underwear.
So was she got into bed with? Do you remember what color her shirt was or her underwear?
All right, this is important here because for some odd reason, they ask, do you remember what color shirt and her underwear were? And I'm not really sure why, but it's always bothered me because the shirt we see when they pull out the evidence is like purplish, right? Isn't it like purple?
Purple, yeah.
Like purple and white or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now listen what Chris says that she was wearing.
I'm sure it was either black or gray. Or it was probably blue.
He was right about the underwear, but he said the shirt was black or gray. Far cry from purple or whitish or the one we saw pulled out of that bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always heard that there was a black or gray shirt that was never found in her room. That was in her room. In that pile of clothes you see in the Discovery. I think it's like on a chair or in a suitcase that's opened up. There was something. No, that shirt was not black.
No, it was definitely purple. Purple and white or like
And it
purple
had
and
like
pink.
a foil heart on it or something. Like a foily heart. Maybe he didn't notice. That's true. He may not have even noticed. Maybe she typically wore gray or black. And maybe he really didn't even notice what her shirt was.
Yeah.
That's very possible, Leotech. And yes, I do think they have the clock that ticks on purpose. Because they leave people alone in there and it drives them out of their mind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know, Bella, why they asked about her shirt and underwear. How did they already know what she was wearing? It could have been PJs. They hadn't dug her up yet.
I think they did. I think they were already out there and had it all her undone when they seen
Oh,
I think they already and were just having him clarify what she was wearing because I think
got
they
you.
already dug her up.
Yeah,
They
I think you're right.
They looked for the
They
earth
found the
that-
sheet and then they found that little
Yep.
disturbed
and
spot.
that they would have had a dog out there or somebody. You could see marks of that spot. I'm sure they went right to it.
Yeah, you're right. I guess it is kind of silly to think that they hadn't already investigated
they were
out there.
already out there. Mm-hmm. They were just making him clarify.
But she was wearing only underwear and a t-shirt. So that tells me that, I mean, unless Shanann was apt to run around the house in a thong, that she wasn't running around. Like she had taken her pants off to get into bed, like he said.
Yep.
Because if she was running around the house, I feel like she would have had shorts or leggings or something on. Maybe not leggings, but you know what I'm saying? Like sleep shorts.
Pajama pants, something.
Yeah, I just can't see her like running around in her thong. But so that tells me that she, took her pants off and got in bed. But when you think back on that video of her walking in, the ring video, is she wearing the same t-shirt that we see in the evidence?
I think
'Cause I
she's
think
wearing
she
a black
is.
one. No,
Mm.
I don't know. Now I gotta look it up.
Oh, it might be black, you guys.
I think it is.
Yeah, they didn't find the shirt she was wearing that she came in on the ring camera.
That was the different shirt.
Yeah, so she was wearing, it looks blue. The
Is
shirt.
it dark though?
Kind of. More like a bluish gray. And it says love in big letters across the
Okay,
chest.
so he was
It's not
correct.
the same.
So that's what she came home in, black or gray. So she must have put that shirt on to sleep in. That's what that tells me. You come home from the airport, she didn't like the germs. You're going to strip that nasty shirt off and put something clean on to sleep in. Because you're too tired to take a freaking shower because you're already delayed. She got home super late. So I could see her just taking the shirt off, putting a clean shirt on, getting into bed. Okay. Let's keep going.
How much time passed, do you think, from the time that she was back in the bed until you put him in the truck?
This is where he gets interesting here.
I'm not sure.
So the question was, how much time was it between that happening and you putting Shanann in the truck? And we had this long pause. And then he's like, I'm not sure.
Are we talking minutes, hours, something else?
Leading.
When I left the house,
No, like from when you got her into bed to when you put him in the truck. How long a time was that?
So like from when put China in my truck, from the bed to the truck.
Yeah, from your master bed to the truck, yeah.
Minutes.
Okay. Are you talking about covering her up or something?
Yeah. And she.
Is there anything else about anything out here that has stuff that you've left in certain spots, or you sure their blankets and toys aren't going to be in there as well?
Not because it was right here with there.
Can you do me a huge favor and just write your name on the bottom? Just so I know that we didn't make those marks. I'm just going to write the date on it, okay? 8/15/18 at 5:56.
Was your wife wearing any shorts or pants or anything, just under? Okay. Do you know what they would
There she goes.
Blue.
We got him. See her? Ugh.
Okay. And the girls, do you remember?
Okay. So that concludes our rewind of that. And I just thought there were some interesting key points to mention because we're going to have more lives about this and several of those little key points that we talked about. Just all of this, the surveillance, all that stuff. And then, so now I have one more treat for you guys. And this audio was sent to me by an anonymous source. And this is a phone, or two phone calls rather, between Tammy Lee and David Carter. If you guys don't know who David Carter is, David Carter was an inmate. He was housed with Chris at Dodge 2 times on 2 separate occasions. Now, when he got out this last time, he decided to hit up Tammy Lee because he had some information for her.
Do you know when this was?
When the phone calls were recorded?
Yeah.
He says in here when he got out, what year he was in there. He was in there with them in 18, and then he was in there with, I think it was 2021.
Because I was talking to Tato, and I'm like, I don't think I've heard this before. And no, I haven't.
No. I hadn't either. I was like, whoa, what's this? So let me pull this up. It's just audio. Oh, it's not letting me open it because it's audio. What the heck? Hold on, guys. It is juicy. It is juicy.
It is.
Oh, man. All right, let me see if I can. Because it's M4A, it won't play. What does that mean? Heather, what does that mean? What's M4A as a file?
It's just the way it was saved, the format of it.
So maybe I can
Are
just
you on your-
convert it?
Are you on your Mac?
Yeah. Can I
Yeah.
just convert it really quick?
Yeah, you should be able to.
All right. So yeah, this is some good stuff. So just give me 2 seconds to convert this over. But so he called Tammy based on conversations that he had with Chris. And her reaction is pretty damn interesting. So here, let me save it. And then you guys will be able to see.
Trial, and then this case would just be done.
I know.
Yeah, I know. But see, if it would have went to trial, they didn't have enough evidence to convict.
Right.
So they bamboozled. They bamboozled it.
They really
in my
did.
opinion. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to put it.
I mean, they lied to him from the beginning.
And the juicy stuff is coming, yo. It's coming after these calls.
Tonight?
Tonight? Yes. Yes, absolutely. In the meantime, while this is converting, let's go to the next little thing I was going to share before we move forward. And let me show you my screen. This is from People Magazine. And this says, this is from September 17th of 2018. So this is only, what, a month after his arrest. And it says here, Chris Watts, who is accused of killing his pregnant wife and 2 young daughters, is despondent in jail. Depression is setting in for Chris Watts as he's jailed in deaths of wife, daughters, source says. And everybody back then was like, oh, who cares? But you have to take all of this in and listen to this, okay? So he's been sitting in the Weld County Jail for more than a month. A source who has spoken to Watts tells people the severity of his predicament has sunk in. He's not doing well at all, the source tells people. The gravity of the situation has hit him like a ton of bricks. Depression is setting in and he's despondent. So he was on suicide watch from the minute that he was put in the Weld County Jail. And this is a little bit of what happens there. Guards must check on Watts every 10 to 15 minutes to ensure his well-being and must make visual contact with him. Additionally, Watts is not allowed the same privileges as other people at the jail, including no access to weights, reading material, and television.
And mail. He couldn't even get his mail.
With nothing else to do, the source says, Watts spends most of his time in bed. He sleeps all day and isn't really talking to anyone, including his family.
Wait a minute. Didn't they restrict his family and like not let them talk?
Yes, they even went out there and they were not allowed to speak with him about the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's been set
his
in a
lawyer told
conversation. Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
His lawyer told his mother not to speak about the case or they would end the visit. And all she said to him was, if you didn't do don't confess to something you didn't do. Mm-hmm. And that was her final warning. Do it again and it's shut down.
And then he said,
so let me finish though. This is Watts does occasionally speak with the guards who are assigned to his cell block. Watts is physically searched several times a day, and each day there is a complete cell inspection to ensure he is not hiding any contraband with which he could harm himself. 1 hour a day he is allowed to leave his cell. He is taken to a small room where he is allowed to shower, and make phone calls to his family or to counsel. The room, known as the Hour Out Room, is not occupied by any other prisoners during the time he is there. He is also not allowed any commissary privileges. So you're in you're in this zone, and they come to you and say, dude, we're trying to save your life. What mind frame are you going to be in?
Yeah.
In solitary like that.
With your own thoughts, just 24/7.
And he wasn't supposed to get any books, but there was a guard who came by and gave him a book about murder. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, whoa, poor Chris, but I'm just stating the facts.
And didn't he have other inmates like screaming at him, telling him to kill himself?
Yes. He told his father that when they walked him out of his cell and in front of the other prisoners at Weld, he said, I could see the hate in their eyes. Yeah. I mean,
that alone is going to mess with your head.
Just being in solitary like that, I mean, that just drives a person mad. It does. There's a reason they do that. But then when his parents came to talk, once they heard there was a plea reached and they wanted to talk to him, like, wait a minute. Because like I said before, Ronnie's at home going, wait a minute. Why are they reporting that he said he killed all three? He didn't say that. So Ronnie's got this, I was there thing. Like, I'm sitting there. I heard what he said, but everybody's being told this other story. You have to feel like the world is stacked against you. How do you undo something like that?
I mean, you can't really.
Yeah, and his mom said she wrote him a letter like to say not to say anything and do anything, but he didn't get it till after.
Yep. He didn't get it until after the sentencing. I don't know. I mean, in Mike Sanner, he says prisoners do not like people who hurt kids. They will mess them up. But he didn't say he hurt his kids. They said he hurt his kids. And
They're
then
the ones that put him in danger.
Yeah, turn this narrative into something they didn't want to prove. For what reason? Why didn't they want to prove it? I would think as a prosecutor, this would be a case that you'd want to go to trial and win. High profile? Gets your name on the map? Are you kidding me?
It was too sloppy to do that. They were putting evidence in plastic garbage bags on top of other items.
Yeah, they sure were, weren't they?
Yep.
With no gloves.
Leo Tech says, then why did he come back months later to give a play-by-play about hurting them? Well, he didn't come back. He was in Wisconsin serving his sentence for the plea deal that he took. And they came to him out of the clear blue. And he didn't know that he had the right not to talk to them. I mean, when you're in prison, you feel like probably the prison owns you and they call you down because you have visitors to see you and you walk in the room and it's these investigators.
And they acted like his best friends.
Oh, I know. Long time no see.
Bought
But they
him
told him.
Gatorades.
Yeah. They told him that this was for the Ruseks only. And that was what he believed. But I think Maligators hit it on the nail on the head when she said that they had to seal it up. They had to have that narrative match in the case file. Or when appeals come, Because this guy's going to have appeal upon appeal upon appeal, right? Or can he not appeal since he pled out?
I don't think he can.
No, that's why you can do the 35C.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, at any rate, if the case file didn't match, I think you might have a problem in later years when, your Tammy and your Coder and all these guys are long gone, retired, and you've got a whole new crew in there, and they look at this case and they go, wait a minute. He didn't say he killed those girls.
This doesn't add up.
Yeah,
This
because he
isn't-
doesn't have to plea, but they could have come back and said, like, the Brady violations, like, you know what I'm saying? They could have retried for a mistrial or, like, what are those guys called that come
The Innocence Project?
Yes. They could have looked through that and seen, well, they messed up here, 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 and here, and he can get a new trial. And I think that's why they did what they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. It's all just so shady.
Yep.
It's all so shady.
They've been shady from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
These two,
All
at
right.
least.
So let's go on to the next.
And, like, no matter the situation, if, say, he did, he didn't, everyone has their own opinion, it was sloppy. It was sloppy from the beginning. No matter what the outcome, it was sloppy the way they investigated this case from start to finish.
Well, in Tammy's own words, she was like, oh, we didn't even get to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
She said that in the oxygen thing.
I
In the
forgot about
oxygen
that.
show.
Yep.
She said, we didn't even get to investigate. We didn't even get to talk to all the people that we wanted to talk to. That's what your excuse for not even interviewing the suspect's parents that he just spent time with
Right.
right
Because
before this happened.
Why else would they go to Wisconsin? The case was closed. He did a plea. Why go there?
Yeah, they had no reason to other than to cover their ass.
They had to tidy up. So they went on and put on their charm and lured his behind right in and fed him what they wanted him to say.
Yeah, and they told him that it was for her family.
Yep, and put a nice little bow on it.
Put a nice little bow on it.